It's time now for Down on the Corner with Dale Hoffman, North Central Arkansas's premier news talk program.
Good morning, North Central Arkansas, South Missouri. It is Wednesday, July 21st, 2021, 7 a.m.
I guess I'm going to need this mic if I'm
It
going to
comes
talk.
in handy.
It sure does. How are you this morning?
I'm doing good, and you?
Very good.
Yeah.
Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed?
You are?
No.
No.
No, I'm tired.
You've been behind that computer again?
Yeah.
You know, I use a computer very, very little at home.
Yep.
And when I do, it just wears me out.
Right.
Yeah.
I've got to take breaks more because it can mess with your eyes.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Are you good at Google?
Yeah.
Are you?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I could come up and say, what's the best alarm clock to buy? And it comes up with, it takes 2,500 pancakes to cover a doghouse. I mean,
Right.
I'm not good at Google.
Sounds like a Biden question. Or an answer. Yeah.
It
Both.
sure does. What's a good alarm clock like? 2,500 pancakes cover a doghouse.
Yesterday we were all talking about how long somebody can hold their breath. We were out on the boat underwater.
Oh, yeah.
And we were thinking 6, 7, 8, 9 minutes, you know. And so Google, how long is the world record holder? How long do you think it is?
11 minutes.
27.
Are you kidding me?
The guy said it March 21st, I think, of this year. He set the world record for over 27 minutes. That is nuts. Anyway, the Googles.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
We'll
Goodness.
talk. Yeah.
27. What kept the
27.
oxygen going to the brain?
I have no idea. I don't know. I mean, the first 10 minutes you would think that would be enough, but
Makes you wonder, don't it?
yeah.
Really?
Yeah. He's ready for the water world.
He's half fish.
Mm-hmm. He's
My
going
goodness,
to be. He's going to be fine with global warming when the oceans rises.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to be fine.
Sure he will be. Yeah. I could hold my breath for 27 minutes.
Yeah.
So if it lasts 27 minutes, he's in no problem at all.
Yeah.
That reminds me of a Peanuts cartoon where Linus comes up to Charlie Brown saying, I can swim, I can swim, I can swim. And Charlie Brown says, well, I'm very proud of you. Congratulations. He says, I swam 2 feet.
No.
And he says, boy, if I'm ever on an ocean liner and it sinks two feet from the shore, I've got
Right.
nothing to worry about.
Nothing.
Anyway, good morning. Welcome to Down on the Corner program. Hope your Wednesday, July 21st is off to a great start. We're enjoying Brewed Awakening coffee. You can do the same thing with 3 locations to serve you the very best coffee in town.
Mm-hmm.
Mike and his staff do a great job at all 3 locations. The very best coffee money can buy. You know, you don't have to park at the grocery store and walk inside.
That's
you just
right.
go through the drive-thrus on Bomber Boulevard, 62's Plaza. If you're heading over to Baxter Regional, you can enjoy it in the main entrance lobby there. Of course, follow the COVID-19 guidelines there at the hospital and enjoy Brewed Awakening coffee. Perhaps you'd like to have it at home. You can talk to them and say, hey, I need to get some coffee beans ground up. And they'll give you half pound, 1 pound,
Yep.
pound and a half or more. Yeah, a little bit more expensive than what you get at the grocery store, but well worth the extra money.
Yes, sir.
Brewed Awakening.
Mm-hmm. My wife and I were talking about it yesterday, and she was holding the bag up going, I'm almost out of beans.
Almost out of beans.
Yep. She says it is the best coffee, and she knows coffee, so.
Well, you know, and Mike does such a good job at all 3 locations. You know, he started out with a little coffee hut right there across from Flashbacks on 62 in the main drag. And then he opened up the one on 62 East Plaza by Anytime Fitness and, of course, Bomber Boulevard.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's just, he's got 3 main coffee outlets right now.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets the freshest roasted coffee beans you can buy. Hey, Juan, okay, I need 500 pounds,
Right.
dude, okay. You know, and here comes Juan Valdez. With
Yep.
that, you know.
Right through the drive-thru.
Right through the drive-thru. The best coffee in town, Brewed Awakening. If you're not drinking Brewed Awakening, you're just drinking muddy water. Mike and his staff do a great job at all 3 locations. And mochas, lattes, frappuccino. Take 2. Mochas, latte, frappuccinos, pumpkin spice, French vanilla. It doesn't matter.
Right.
I got a friend who works at the hospital, and she loves her pumpkin spice, and she's got it right there at Brewed Awakening, right there in the lobby. Wow.
Yep.
Brewed Awakening coffee, the best coffee in town. You're not drinking Brewed Awakening, you're just drinking muddy water. Mike and the staff do a great job at all 3 locations, and they look forward to serving you today. So drive by or walk in the hospital anytime and enjoy Brewed Awakening coffee. Cinnamon rolls, scones, turnovers. What did I miss? Cinnamon rolls, scones, turnovers, muffins,
Yeah.
They've got it.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's it. Yeah.
wow. They've got you covered. Brewed Awakening Coffee, once again, is the best coffee in town. Roller Funeral Homes of Arkansas bring the morning prayer each and every day with all our respect. Roller Funeral Homes, 29 in the state of Arkansas to serve you, with one in Memphis, Tennessee. Here in town, you talk to Brad, Bruce, Charlotte, Chris. Perhaps someone else out there can help you that I've not met, but they're very caring, loving, understanding. They know what you're going through. Perhaps it's pre-planning you need to talk about. You know that somebody may have a terminal illness. You don't know when, but you know it's going to be happening. It's not a pleasant subject to talk about. We like to avoid those subjects, but eventually, you know, it's going to be. Mm-hmm. With all respect, Roller Funeral Homes, how they do business on a daily basis. I'm very thrilled to have them as a sponsor here for the morning prayer. Roller Funeral Homes, with all respect, all across the state of Arkansas and in western Tennessee. Roller Funeral Homes, with all our respect. Let's pause now for our morning prayer. Heavenly Father, today as we visit with Jamie from First Step, I pray that those suffering from alcohol or drug addictions will first seek help, second, be successful in overcoming any addiction. Addiction can happen to anyone, regardless of social status, financial wealth. It can just happen. We shouldn't look back to ask, how did this happen? We should look forward to see the great success in overcoming an addiction and the future successes in life. First Step is not here to judge, but to help. Lord, I pray those struggling with addictions that they'll get the help they need, and please end their suffering. It's my prayer today. Amen.
Amen.
Roller Funeral Homes of Arkansas bring the morning prayer each and every day with all our respect. Roller Funeral Homes. Wow. Heaven help the VU meters over there when you do that one.
That's right, baby. Moving on.
Glad they're LED and not analog. Morning Weather is brought to you by the Z-Team. Bob and Linda Zadora for all your real estate needs. 870-405-0793. The website, of course, is retiretoarkansas.net. Mm-hmm. And we're going to take a peek at the White River.
Beautiful foggy day.
We got fog today on the river down around Cotter. We have the upper atmosphere is a little bit clear.
But it's covering it up today.
It's covering up today. You can't even see the bridge today. Wow. Cameras mounted in Marion County, Arkansas, looking into Baxter County. Of course, the city of Cotter, the 62-412 bridge on the left side of the screen. And the river is actually under the fog. And so kind of some foggy conditions this morning, the city of Cotter and Baxter County. And you can go to retiretoarkansas.net, pull up the live webcam, and check this out all throughout the day. You can actually, you leave it logged in now and watch it for about the next 30 minutes to an hour and just watch that fog just kind of
right
away.
It does. It's really cool. It did that the other day on us, yeah.
And just a beautiful shot there. While you're at retiretoarkansas.net, check out all the listings with the Z-Team, Bob and Linda Zadora, and all the MLS listings, both in Arkansas and Missouri. And so they're ready to serve you from Mountain View, Arkansas to Mountain View, Missouri, back to Gainesville and down to Marshall and back over to Calico. Reese and everybody and Bob and Lynn, Marlene, everybody's ready to serve you. So give them a call, 870-405-0793. When you get ready to sell your home with the Z-Team, you better have your bags packed.
Right.
You better pack the bags and sell the house.
Going fast. Average time, he said, was 90-something days.
Yeah.
And I bet you it's really quicker than that.
Oh, I bet it is, yeah.
It's
Sometimes they actually had a sign in the yard for 75 minutes one day.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They called Reese, hey, wait, don't wait right there. We'll be there, 1 hour later. So, we're done. Okay.
Yep.
Take the sign out. We're done. 75 minutes. Amazing.
Yeah. Have your bags packed, but also have a place to go.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You better have something lined up.
You better have it lined up.
Mm-hmm.
For all your real estate needs, the Z-Team, the award-winning Z-Team, Bob and Linda Zadora. Tell you what, they just get the job done.
Yes,
and they
sir.
do it so well. I mean, 2 of the most prestigious Century 21 awards in the corporation. And Bob and Linda have earned them 2 years back to back, which is unheard of, but they did it.
Right.
Just amazing. All right, the Z-Team for all your real estate needs, 870-405-0793. The website is retiretoarkansas.net. Morning Weather is brought to you by the Z-Team. Bob and Linda Zadora. Right now, 65, a very pleasant
Yes, sir.
65 degrees in Mountain Home, 62 at Harrison, 66 at Batesville, 64 in Yellville, Marshall at 64, 66 at Salem, 64 at Mountain View, West Plains at 66. Springfield the same, Poplar Bluff at 67. It's already 71 though in St. Louis. And Watford City, North Dakota, beats us by 1 degree at 66 this morning. Put that in contrast to north and south.
Right.
Can you believe that? Wow.
They're probably loving it.
Oh, I bet they are. That's swimming pool weather right there.
Yeah,
Wow.
beautiful weather for them.
National radar, there's not a lot on there, just some scattered stuff in the north and the south. We do have a little bit in Arizona and Utah, but from Idaho, Washington, a little bit in Montana, where they can probably douse the fires, get rid of the smoke and haze that we're getting all the way down here from the fires. Then you see it in North Dakota, South Dakota, north part of Minnesota, and then we got it in New England, Maine, and around in that part of the area. Then in the southeast, I left a coffee cup out for you. Oh, you found
I'm all over it.
Then you see it down south, Louisiana, Texas, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, a little bit off the South Carolina coastline right there. Zoom into Arkansas. Let's see what we got going. See if we can find a wet spot on a mosquito down there in southern Arkansas. Everything seems to be in pretty good shape. Highway 62, 412 east and west in good shape. Highway 65 to Branson, no problems there. Little Rock, Searcy, Batesville, Pocahontas, Highway 67 and 167. Then all your interstates, 30, 40, 49, 55, 555, 530 in Arkansas. We're looking good. Interstate 40, Memphis to Jackson. Interstate 155 to Dyersburg, Tennessee. Looks good there. State of Missouri, Poplar Bluff, Missouri, Highway 67 north into St. Louis, looks good. Highway 160 to Branson, 60 to Springfield, no showers there. Let's see, I-44, 49, 35, and what am I miss? I-70 and I-55 looking good, going to St. Louis, Kansas City, Springfield, Rolla, Joplin. Southern Illinois, East St. Louis, Illinois on I-64, oh, stomping grounds up there. Belleville, Fairview Heights, Cahokia, Dupo, all of that up there. I-64 East. We're in good shape there. Interstate 57 down to Carroll, Illinois. Interstate 24, Paducah, Kentucky. No shower activity going on there. Paducah all the way down into Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Looking good. Not bad at all.
I love it.
Yeah. We have some excessive heat in the Kansas City area. Let me bring up the state of Missouri real quick. This is the Kansas City, both sides of the state line, Kansas and Missouri, excessive heat watch for that part of Missouri today. There's about 4 or 5 counties involved there. Other than that, we have a little bit of fog in Middle Tennessee and a little fog in Northeast Texas. That's about it. Nothing for Arkansas, nothing else for Missouri other than the heat advisory in the Kansas City area. 7-day forecast today. We've got sunshine with 88 degrees, and Thursday night we have a chance of showers, just a 20% chance, so it probably just puts spots on the windshield if you don't put the car in the garage.
Yeah.
90 degrees on Friday, 92 on Saturday. Sunday, 20% chance of showers, high of 94. A little bit of heat comes back through. And, last week of July, what are you going to expect?
Right.
So it is what it is. It's summer.
Right.
Traffic moving pretty good across the state. Fort Smith to Bentonville in good shape. Texarkana, Little Rock, North Little Rock, Conway. I-40 towards Memphis. Don't forget the I-40 bridge still being worked on after that structure damage. Yeah, it's still going to be a while, but no accidents or anything like that going on right now in the state. Checking Mountain Home, we'll check the cameras. We'll start with Cardinal Drive and see how things are going. Minimal traffic right now at Cardinal 62 Business. Of course, you see Century 21 Lemac Real Estate right here, Christmas Sorry Home Mortgage right here, the new Slotsky's. Minimal amount of traffic. Cardinal looking east. You see the haze in the air due to the smoke coming out of the fires.
That's the calm before the storm,
That's
buddy.
the calm before the storm. Club Boulevard. Oh, they switched these around on me. There we go. This is my favorite track. You see Baxter Regional right here among the mountain. Clay Maxey Chevrolet right over here. Holly's Jewelry right here. Minimal amount of traffic. A little bit coming up the hill going out of the town, going out of the city right now. But seems to be moving fairly easy today. Highway 5 North. There we go. And wow, very light traffic right now at 62, 5, 201 Junction. Of course, Baxter Regional back over here, just to the left side behind Casey's right there. And, wow, not too bad today going through town. Not bad at all. Okay, Missouri Department of Transportation. Some maintenance issues going on. That's the yellow spots, and construction issues are the red ones. Plan your trip accordingly. If you're going to Rolla, then to St. Louis, or going to Springfield, Highway 5, whatever it may be. Just give MoDOT and RDOT a break. We're still paving Highway 5 to the state line in Arkansas. And especially on Highway 5. Guys, slow it down. I went through that the other day. Some guys blowing through at 50 miles an hour, and those workers on the side of the road, Slow it down. Give them a break.
Right.
It's going to take a while, but they're going to do a good job and get that ready to go for us. So.
Yes, sir.
Norfolk Lake at 568.47, 16 and a half feet above the full pool of 552. Bull Shoals at 684.25, 25.25 feet above the full pool of 659. Current allergy index, whew, feeling it today. Whew, wow, 3.9 today, 4 tomorrow. Grasses, plankton, and nettle. Crude oil prices, yeah, they're not as high as they were, but they're still high. 68.18 a barrel. Sting at the pump. Dow Jones Industrial Average rebounded 550 points, closing out at 34,511.99. Don't forget about the Dream Network. My friend Marlo Lucas is the CEO of the DreamNetwork.org. They help women and children in desperate situations, prepare individuals and organizations to meet the needs in the community, and they partner with the community to help children realize their gifts and their God-given dreams. If you can donate, you hit the donate button right here, and you can help them out $5, $10, $15, $20 or more. And went to visit, got to talk with her a little bit about a month ago. Was up in Springfield. Doing amazing work. Vision to be a voice for children, connecting them with the resources to help them realize their gifts and pursue their God-given dreams. TheDreamNetwork.org. Break time. I'm almost out of coffee.
Alrighty.
Terrible, ain't it?
Yeah.
All right, take a break. Jamie Leach is here for First Step. Stay around. Be right back.
It's a matter of taste, and at Brick Oven Pizza Company in Mountain Home, delicious taste is all you will find. Enjoy signature crafted pizzas and appetizers, as well as oven-baked sandwiches, quesadillas, salads, pastas, and desserts. When it comes time to relax or meet up with friends, Brick Oven Pizza has you covered. Handmade cocktails and ice-cold beer are always available at their fully stocked bar. No time to dine in? No problem. Call in your order and use Brick Oven's convenient drive-thru window for all your to-go orders. It's a matter of taste at Brick Oven Pizza Company in Mountain Home. Get the only mower with suspension technology at Mower Warehouse in Mountain Home, where they accept mower trade-ins, have flexible financing options, and services all brands and models. That's Mower Warehouse, located on Buzzard Roost in Mountain Home.
When I grow up, I want to save lives, like a superhero, and show up when people needed me.
When I grow up, I want to do animations. I want to create characters that can fly.
No matter what it is you want out of life, there is a path to get there.
When I grow up, I don't know what I want to do when I grow up, but I know I want to go to college.
Arkansas State University Mountain Home. Take your first step at asumh.edu.
Hi, it's Bob Zadora of the Z-Team at Century 21 Lee Mack Realty, 1024 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. As you know, we are all facing some unusual times. Be calm. Be smart. The business world of real estate will continue. We may have some delays and some changes that are out of our control, but life will go on, and this too will pass. Give thanks for this wonderful country that we live in. Give thanks for the neighbors that we share. If there's anything we can do to give you a hand, give us a call. 870-405-0793. And check out our website, retiredtoarkansas.net.
Have you ever noticed every time you wash your car, you end up wetter than the actual car? Next time, run down to Car Care and let the friendly staff put a smile on your face. Car Care of Mountain Home has a variety of services to clean your vehicle's needs, inside and out. From a simple wash and shine to their outstanding detailed services. Located 1525 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. Stop by Car Care Mountain Home today, because driving a clean car always makes you feel good.
It's almost 7:19, and Jamie's here for First Step. Good to see you again.
Hi.
Been a while.
Yeah, I know. It's been a little while. Thanks for having me back again.
Having a good summer?
Yes, I'm
You get
good.
any lake or river time in there with all
Not enough. Not near enough. I actually bought a kayak last year at the end of the season, and I've used it twice. So like, it's sad.
It's not
just,
getting waterlogged.
It's sitting there. Yeah, like it needs to be used.
That would be fun.
It is.
Have
it
you
is
ever tried
fun.
paddleboarding?
I haven't. I want to do that.
That looks like fun. I got
Yeah.
a friend over around the Salem area. She lives down in Melbourne.
Yeah.
And she does that a lot on the White River.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it would be a lot of fun. I thought
think
about
it-
just like maybe renting one to try it first
Try
to
it
make
out.
sure I'm capable. But yeah, it would be a lot of fun. So.
So how's things at First Step? Looks like you're
Good.
pretty busy.
Yeah, we are. We've been busy, which is, good. I'm glad that we're helping people. And I was just thinking on the way here, I don't know that I would say there's trends all the time, because things overall kind of stay the same as far as like what we see. There, for a while, I felt like there was a bigger uptick in, unfortunately, like in heroin use, just because, you know, the pills were harder to get, the heroin was cheaper, and that's still the case. But the past month, maybe two even, I would say, it's been primarily people struggling with alcohol. So I think that, which we always have that, but it's just that I think that it's almost like gets put on the back burner because we talk about opiates, or meth, you know, and so it's just like, just a reminder how problematic that can be too. I had a former patient, obviously I can't say details, but a while back, and he unfortunately, you know, passed away later, and from continuing to drink and some other health issues. And so it just, when those things happen, of course it's horrible and heartbreaking, and you realize when you're with someone in those rooms in that moment, you know, for that short period of time that you're with them, that like how important it is, you know, and you can't make people do stuff they don't want to do, but it's just such an opportunity. And I try to remember that every day, you know, when I go in there, like, okay, this is an opportunity to help somebody, and you never really know where they're at or what's going to happen, you know, when they leave.
And you don't know the background. You don't know the hardships, the success, you know.
Yes, absolutely. And I think, again, with any drug or alcohol, but especially with the alcohol, you know, even if I feel like sometimes alcohol is one of those things where people can like kind of get away with it a little bit longer. I think if you're kind of like strung out on heroin or whatever, like it's a little more noticeable. Sometimes, you know, there's people that, you know, they always use that term functional alcoholics, you know, and you can do that. But the thing that's always happening, you know, underneath the surface is it's affecting your body. You know, your body's not going to not react to that amount and that length of time of using alcohol daily, you know. And so that's the thing I feel like I see more with that, is the underlying health conditions that it causes, you know, your liver and just all the things that it affects. And so I think that's kind of what gets people in the long run with that.
And so to trigger the alcohol, is it depression? Is it anxiety?
I would say, you know, it's kind of a combination, but with alcohol, inevitably, and I was just talking to a friend about this, the thing I hear the most, well, in addition to trauma, you know, a lot of times people have endured trauma, and so it's kind of an escape thing. Of course, there's that. But a lot of people that have really bad anxiety like to drink, which makes sense in a way, you know, like, okay, it lowers your inhibitions a little bit, maybe especially if you have like social anxiety or whatever. But it's just like any other drug. It doesn't work in the long run. It works very temporarily. And then once you start to, once you start to go without the alcohol, or you start to withdraw from the alcohol, the anxiety is like tenfold, you know. So it really, as it is a depressant too, of course.
You kind of slowly come up, or just, and then.
Right. So then what are you going to do? You're going to drink again. And you're going to drink again, and you're going to drink again, because, you know, you don't want to. So, I mean, that cycle obviously can be broken, which is what we're trying to do. You know, that's the idea, and it can be done, and I see it done daily. But that's kind of like the catch-22 of it. It's like, man, today it sure feels like the cure, but tomorrow it's going to make me feel 10 times worse.
Especially with that hangover.
Yeah, especially with a hangover. Yeah.
But, you know, and then some folks can go out and have a nice social drink in the evening, and it not hurt them.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
You know.
I definitely think there's some kind of a genetic link, and there's a lot of studies on that, of course, but I think some people are just more predisposed to it, which means obvious, and you know, that's kind of frustrating for people, because it's like, well, gosh, my friends can just go out on Friday and have a couple drinks, no big deal, they're back at work Monday, everything's cool. But that's just not the case for everybody. And so it's kind of being like really honest with yourself and going, unfortunately, I'm not that person. I'm not that person that can do that and function. And if you can't, you have to just, you have to approach it.
You have to realize your limits.
You do, yeah. You have to definitely realize your limits. And with alcohol, that's, I think, harder, because if you want to avoid doing drugs, that's easier to do than it is to avoid alcohol. I mean, you know, alcohol is everywhere. and I'm not of the belief that alcohol is entirely bad. Like you said, if you want to have a glass of wine here, there, or whatever, I think that's okay. But if it's a problem for you, just like if eating is a problem for you.
But even if you're out with friends, have a cocktail.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all about overindulgence.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah. And some places, and I don't know around here as much, but I'm thinking, I guess, more when I lived in Kansas City, but even like, work functions or group meetings and stuff like that, a lot of times that's done over like a happy hour or something. So it's hard to kind of feel like that person that can't join in on that, but you know, once you can kind of accept that and just it becomes the norm, and you get through the people giving you the weird questions, why aren't you having a drink? Once you get past that, I think it can just become who you are, and it's people just accept it and they know that about you, so.
Yeah. Wow, it's interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting.
But, for some people it becomes an addiction.
Absolutely. It's sad. I always just hate to see it, because it's so like, on one hand, people, obviously when they're to the point of calling me, they've at least somewhat acknowledged that they've got a problem and they want to do something about it. But it's scary for people to give it up, because that's kind of like your like blankie, like little kids have their little like safety things, and that's kind of what it feels like to them. So
it can become the security blanket.
Security blanket, that's the word.
Just like Linus.
Yeah. Just like Linus, yes. That's right.
Well,
it's kind of like saying, I think I've said this before, but I really feel this way. I think it's kind of like telling somebody that's been dependent on oxygen that you're going to take away their oxygen. And, they know that they're going to gasp for air, and that's going to, it's like that kind of like scary for people. Like, they'll get over that hump, but in the beginning they're like, I don't think I can make it without it. Like I don't, it's hard for them to even like really grasp that that's a possibility sometimes.
So how can I ask this question when you come out? Do they get panicky that they're not going to get that sustained? Yeah. You know what I'm trying to say?
Oh yeah, it is, because inevitably when you're going through withdrawal, recovery, the whole thing, to think that you're going to not be uncomfortable is unrealistic. And so in the beginning phases, especially, I think when people start to feel those feelings of being uncomfortable, or that anxiety we talked about starts really ramping up, that's really hard. And I think it's almost like, whoa, maybe I'm making the wrong decision. Maybe I can't quit. So a lot of people get really freaked out, especially in the beginning, which is understandable completely. But again, I try to just reiterate, like, there is another side to that. Everybody goes through those uncomfortable parts of it. It's unavoidable, but that is the key to getting through it. You can't get to the other side without kind of climbing the mountain.
So patients could actually have a fear of that process.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Very much so.
Oh,
Very much
wow.
so. The fear of withdrawal alone is scary for alcohol, and especially like with the opioids and stuff too, because you get really, really sick. So when people start to run out of whatever, that's why you see people do such desperate things, right, to get it again, because again, it's kind of like your oxygen's running out, you've got, whatever left, and it's like, I can't live without my oxygen, what am I going to do? So you start doing kind of whatever it takes to get that, and it really feels that desperate, I think, for people a lot of times. And it's just habitual too. We talk about food a lot, because I just think even if you've never had an addiction, at some point you've probably maybe overate or ate something you thought was not as good for you. And it seems silly, but even that on a small level can just show you, like, if you've ever messed up your diet, gone off a diet plan that you were going to stay on, and people are like, yeah, I've done that. Well, you factor in all the psychological and physical parts of addiction, and times 100, and you can imagine it is pretty tough for people, and they don't want to admit that they've fallen off the wagon either. That's hard too. So
and there again, we've talked about this before. There was an episode in MASH years ago where Hawkeye decided to get on the wagon. They had the still in the swamp.
Yeah.
Where they had their own, where they made their own hooch, and then they had the bar at the officers club. Well, at the end of the show, he decides to have a drink, and they put a scotch in front of him, and he looks at it, and all the staffs look at him like, I'll drink this when I want it, not when I need it.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
Yeah, that is it. I mean, and if you can, again, I think it goes back to knowing your limits, though, because if you can do that and know wholeheartedly and not just fooling yourself, know that you can do that and walk away from it and things are fine, and you've consistently been able to kind of do that throughout your life, that's one thing. But every day, what do I hear? I don't know what I was thinking. I was just going to grab a beer. Boom, 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 snowball, snowball, snowball. So it's like, if you know in your past that every time you've tried to have a drink, it turns into 40, and you just can't cross that line anymore. You just have to really put protections in place not to get there. And that means maybe not, going to those places that are temptations for you. And that's hard, because what does that mean? Sometimes that means you feel isolated then, right? You're kind of the odd one out, and that's no fun, to feel that way.
That's true.
So.
My goodness, I just feel for these folks, that have to go through some of this stuff. So.
Absolutely.
Anyway, why don't we take a break? What is it, 7:31? Come up with 7:31. More with Jamie right after this. Be right back.
So there I was, naked as a jaybird in the shower with soap in my hair and eyes when I lost water pressure down to a dribble. I immediately grabbed my towel and dialed up Jake at JM Sales and Pump Service. Jake came right over and fixed my water pressure. Now I can take my showers with confidence. Just call Jake.
For all your sales and pump needs, just call Jake at JM Sales and Pump Service, 870-431-5445. He offers high-quality stay-right products.
At Connor Family Funeral Home, our goal is to provide our friends and neighbors with caring, compassionate services at an affordable price. Connor Family is a full-service funeral home that offers a wide range of services to meet your family's needs and customs. We are the first on-site crematory in the area and provide many options to memorialize your loved ones and address all the details for a more personalized service. Where compassion and affordability meet, Connor Family Funeral Home in Mountain Home.
Take a step back in time when going to a barbershop meant more than just getting a haircut. Come into Legionnaire Barbershop today, a unique gentleman's barbershop. Get back in style with experienced licensed barbers who are trained in tonsorial arts and lock removal and are happy to give you a straight razor shave. Legionnaire Barbershop is veteran-owned and operated and located at 1041 Highland Circle, Suite 55 in Mountain Home. For a full, old-fashioned barbershop experience, stop by Legionnaire Barbershop today.
When you think about Hospice of the Ozarks, it's our desire that you think about finding a way to live your life to the fullest while living with a serious illness. If you ever need help and support, we provide a team of healthcare professionals and volunteers that will support your physical, emotional, and spiritual aspects of life while doing the same for your family and caregivers in the comfort of your own home or wherever you call home. When you think about Hospice of the Ozarks, we hope that you grant us permission to walk on the journey with you. Your not-for-profit option since 1979.
When you're out of town, make sure your pet is with someone who will love them as much as you do. At 201 Pet Salon and Resort, your pet is cared for just as they would be at home. 201 Pet Salon and Resort is the only all-suite climate-controlled and air-filtered boarding facility in the area with private and spacious rooms to keep your pet relaxed. And with over 3/4 of an acre of fenced play area, your pet will receive the proper exercise they deserve. 201 also offers professional grooming services. Your best friend is in good hands at 201 Pet Salon and Resort in Mountain Home. 7:33, visiting with Jamie Leach from First Step. The successes of First Step. You got to be pretty proud of the accomplishments there.
I am. And I know that, it's certainly not about me and it's not anything like that, but to have Baxter Regional support the program and to keep it going really means a lot to me, and I think that they really have the interest of the community in mind, because it's certainly not like a program that's like, a money maker. It's nothing like that. It's actually really just to help people, and so so I'm very, very grateful to still be a part of it. I think that in the future we might be able to kind of add some additional services to it, including kind of like some counseling and stuff like that, because right now it is just medical. So we do, just a reminder to everybody. So It's a full medical detox, which basically means, we were talking about alcohol, of course, opiates, which includes anything from, hydrocodone, Oxycontin, heroin, those are all, it's kind of that painkiller category, whether it be a street drug or a prescription. And then benzos too. So the benzos are like Xanax and things like that, which can also be actually pretty problematic when withdrawing from it, depending on a lot of factors, of course. But you can have a seizure and stuff like that. So not only does First Step help you're in the hospital for a few nights so that you're safe in the sense of you're under a doctor's care, just like every other patient. You've got nursing staff, you're there, they're 24/7. And so if anything was to go wrong, if you do have a complication, if your body does react poorly to that, we're already giving you some medication to help make it more comfortable, but we can react right away if there was something that was problematic. So if it's me, if it's my family, and if it's possible for you to do so, if you're starting the recovery process and your body is dependent on those things, and that that's going to be the first hurdle to jump is getting through that, before you get counseling, before you get rehab, before you start AA or whatever, that's kind of what we do. So if you think that you need that, then please let us know. And then in the future, so that's a piece of recovery, is always that medical component. But if you don't couple that with some form of, again, counseling, rehab, whatever, it really kind of falls flat, because addiction is not just a physical thing, Dependency physically is a thing, but it's so psychological too. So I think that we really encourage and actually require that you do something after that you leave us. So, but yeah, so success stories, like Dale said, I've had several people, even a couple that I knew on a personal level, before they were patients, that have let me know periodically how they're doing post-detox, even a couple years post-detox. And I will never, ever, ever get tired of hearing how good people are doing. It literally, it just means everything to me. And especially when I see pictures of them on social media with their kids, and I'm just like, to know that 2 years ago they were at a crossroads and that could have continued to spiral, and what would that have looked like? And to see that's exactly the whole reason why we do what we do, and I love doing it. So yeah.
So how did First Step even get started at Baxter Regional? How long has it been going on?
I should know the exact date, probably. I've been there since 2016, and I want to say that it had already been there. So that was 5 years. So prior to that, it's been at least 10 years. I'll put it that way. Really? Yeah. So when it first started, it was under a different name. It was almost more of like a, what's the word? Like a contractor. So it's like it was almost like using the hospital as the building and everything. But then fairly quickly after that, Baxter realized we could probably do a better job of managing it ourselves. And so then it became, the First Step was the name. And so, but like I said, I know it's been at least 10 years and I don't remember the exact
So it became
year.
A subsidiary of Baxter Regional.
Yes.
That's great.
So, and I just, I don't know, on the drive here this morning, I was thinking about saying this and I realized how I probably should have this nailed down a lot better before I say this, but some of you might know that Baxter Regional Medical Center, as of within the past month or so, gained magnet status. Yes. Okay. If you go to baxterregional.org, you can read this for yourself because I'm probably going to butcher this slightly. So I'm sure they're real proud that I'm even saying this, but it really is a huge deal. So what I do know is that magnet status, basically just in a nutshell, what that means is higher level of care and service. Yeah. So it's not something that everybody achieves. Honestly, I didn't even realize what a high designation it is. It's less than 10% of the hospitals in the country. So, I mean, that's pretty huge.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
I mean, that's huge. So when I think of, part of my job is kind of obviously telling people what we do, I just am, it's even just that much more of a reason why choosing to come to Baxter Regional, whether it be for First Step for Detox or whatever, so much more of a reason to do that and to know that you can trust your family or loved one into our care. So I was pretty proud of that. And I just think that, we're an acute care hospital. We have great providers. all of the same thing applies to First Step, meaning you're going to have those same hospitalist doctors, APNs, providers caring for you as they do every other patient, critical patient that we have. So you know that you're going to be in good hands.
When I first moved here from St. Louis in 1972, Baxter Regional wasn't much bigger than this whole building.
Yeah, I bet.
And a compound fracture of the leg or arm, you went to Springfield.
Right, yeah.
And now, in the 49 years I've lived here, look at how it's evolved into a major medical center in north central Arkansas. Because I think last time I talked with Tobias, you service 18 or 19 counties.
Yeah, right. And there's a lot of outlying hometown, what do they call them? Hometown clinics.
Oh,
so like in all the surrounding, like you're saying, surrounding counties.
Oh yeah, you see it in Melbourne. I saw one in Melbourne. I think there's one in Salem.
Yeah, there's a ton peppered all throughout the surrounding counties, quite a ways.
And then y'all know the fisherman Bill Dance. Remember Bill Dance?
Yes.
He's hilarious. He was at Baxter.
I remember that. I saw his testimonial thing about. Yeah, he is funny. He's
it's back before Forrest Wood passed away and went to see him because they were good friends. Have you seen Bill Dance videos?
Huh.
Oh, you got to watch the bloopers.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say.
Have you seen the bloopers?
Oh my gosh.
I've never laughed so hard.
I'm not even like a fisher person, but it's funny. Like it's really funny.
I've seen batteries and cameras and fishing rods go in the water.
Just the way he reacts just cracks me up.
Dadgummit.
It is good. You should watch that.
Yeah, and Bill Dance has got the greatest testimonial for Baxter Regional. He's always got that Tennessee volunteer hat on.
Yeah.
Yeah, he lives in West Tennessee, but yeah, he was a patient here.
Yeah,
and had great things to say about Baxter. Now, addictions can happen to anybody, regardless of social status or money in the bank, whether you're poor or rich, and the confidentiality.
Yeah, big deal. And I'm glad that you brought that up, just because I still feel like we're always kind of fighting a stigma against addiction, and coincides so many times with like mental health issues. And I just cringe when I think that people like, ugh, I hate addicts, that label addicts, or people that are struggling with mental health. It's like there's people are almost like scared. They don't know what to do with that.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I mean, I understand it's not everybody's, life goal like it is mine to help people with that. But if people only knew some of the folks that are right beside them in church, that are right beside them at work, that are struggling, and that feel like they have to hide it. And part of the reason they don't get help is for that very reason. And I really hope that every time we talk about this, it chips away this much at it, because that's just such an awful thing to realize in your own community, or you feel like you might be ostracized, or that your job could be affected. It should be something that is applauded when people come to get help.
Well, when you go to the HR director, human resource director, say, look, I got a problem.
Yeah. Yep.
And I've talked with Jamie at First Step and this is what I need.
Yes.
Can you give me 3, 4, 5 days?
Yeah.
I need to go take care of some.
Yeah.
And talk to the HR director.
And I think most often, and even legally, I'm pretty sure, if you self-disclose and do what you said, meaning you don't wait until necessarily you have an accident on the job, or you have missed 30 days of work and out of 32 days or whatever, if you can kind of get out in front of it a little bit, and let them know and tell them and ask for help, I think you're actually even covered under like FMLA and stuff. But anyway, that usually obviously goes over a lot better. And I whenever I can, I do try to talk to business owners and HR about that. And I think it is becoming such a more common, unfortunately, issue that people are a little bit more willing to go, you know what, I would rather let my employee take off for a little while and get help than have to have all this turnover.
Exactly.
Rehire, retrain.
Yeah.
Cost-wise, even just from a cost perspective, I think it's beneficial for that. Even if you take the emotional, caring part out of it, I think it just makes sense. And so I hope that even employers, if you're watching or whatever, that you'll consider that, because one thing I think that we do try to do too is a lot of times we do have people that are still employed, and so sometimes they'll try to come in maybe like on a Friday, stay through Monday, to minimize the amount of work that they miss if they're a Monday through Friday person, and And we want to get people back to work as soon as possible because that's kind of part of recovery. If you've got a purpose, I mean, that's huge. Whether you work or not, having a purpose is huge. But if we can help the community by getting people back to work, and then maybe they can do some outpatient follow-up, support groups are literally day or night in our community. There's several different ones. So that's something we like to do too, just from a community and, business perspective as well.
I'm sitting here wondering the aftermath. Okay, so the person is clean, dry, whatever. They're walking out of the hospital like, whew, glad that's over. How do they handle that from what they did, what they went through, where they are now, the mental transformation?
Well, that's the thing, because like for what a detox is, for what it does physically for you, I would say ours is the best of the best. But again, like I said before, walking out of anything for 3 nights, or 3 or 4 nights, you're going to be stabilized medically. You're going to feel better, but you still got to go home and open your door and go back into the very place that maybe is where you've been struggling with whatever it is for 20 years or
the real world.
So I'm such a stickler on, and I always use the word aftercare. It has to be a lifestyle change. It can't be I'm going to go to detox and I'm never going to think about drinking or using again and I'm good. And I really try to be very transparent with our patients and tell them that, like, don't, and especially some families, that are very well-meaning but maybe have never really struggled with addiction or know a whole lot about it. And so they kind of think like, okay, they're going to go to detox and they're going to come home and we fixed it. It's fixed. It's not. It's a lifetime of
have to be
change.
You're going to have to work with your own mind.
So much.
Yeah.
So much. It's a rewiring of the pathways in your brain. It's changing maybe the people you hang around, the places that you go. It's really first step. Obviously, it's named that because it really is the first step. But there's so many more things that have to follow that. If you don't do if you're physically dependent and you don't do a detox, you might never get past to make those other steps because again, you get so sick or it can be dangerous, and so you just keep doing it to kind of avoid all that. So we can kind of break that cycle, but it's an ongoing process for sure.
Can a person ever think, well, one of these days I'll overcome it on my own?
Yes.
You get that? Do
Oh,
you?
yeah.
Really?
Absolutely.
Really?
Like, especially if you kind of have that mentality of like, what's wrong with me? I'm a failure. I should be able to do this. And because again, some people are like, well, just quit, just quit. It's like that's so oversimplified in the way that addiction works. Very few people just wake up and go, I'm not going to do that anymore and never do it again. I mean, minute percentage. But when you are told that and when you feel like that's the expectation of you, it can be very detrimental because it makes you feel like something's wrong with you. Wow. And you should be able to just quit. So,
that's why we have Jamie come in just to talk about this, because it is a confidential situation
absolutely.
At Baxter.
Yeah.
And nobody knows about it but you and the personnel there in the office.
Right. Yeah.
Very successful program.
Yeah, thank you. And I'm glad that you mentioned the confidentiality. And I'm sorry, I know you said that earlier, but you're right. We put people in as a confidential patient. We don't have their name on their door. It says confidential. Of course, the staff that's working with you has to know what it's for. But short of that, it's very much, under the radar. And that's a big deal to me. And I make sure I've never heard of that being breached in any way, and I take that really seriously.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Absolutely. You can call me confidentially, and we're going to talk, and I'm always going to keep that. I mean, that will never leave the walls of my office, what we talk about. So.
And I don't want to embarrass Jamie, but I want to compliment you because about a year or so ago, she says, can you write a letter of recommendation because you're advancing your education?
Yeah. Yes.
Going for a master's degree. How close are we?
Thank you for that, by the way. Yes, then thank you for the letter. I'll be done December 10th. So
congratulations.
It's coming.
Master's degree.
Yeah.
So she's a single mom working a full-time job, takes time out to do the TV program, and is still advancing her education, a master's degree. So
thank you.
With that, we're going to take a break. Be right back. We're with Jamie after this.
Letty's Mexican Restaurant, we are here to keep you safe during these difficult times, as well as serve you the best Mexican food in the area. That's why we've installed a convenient pickup window for all your to-go and pickup orders, as well as a covered outdoor seating area. Give us a call at 870-435-2532 to order your next meal. And don't forget, Letty's also provides catering for small parties or big events. Experience the best in Mexican cuisine. Letty's in Gassville.
Jim Brown Company keeps you cool when it's hot and warm when it's not. A trusted name in the mountain home community, Jim Brown Company provides timely heating and cooling installation and repairs. Our certified technicians incorporate new technology on every job to provide you with the most advanced services. At our metal fabrication shop, we handle projects big and small. We've created everything from commercial ducts to custom designs.
I'd recommend Jim Brown Company to my friends and neighbors. The reason being they have high-tech equipment. Their service techs are well qualified for the job that they do, and they also send me a report after all the work is done so I know exactly what my unit's doing.
By visiting our showroom, you can learn all about our heating and cooling products. We'll educate you on your options and help you decide on the right solution. For total comfort at your home or business, choose Jim Brown Company. Quality service with a family name since 1964.
Hi, I'm Benny with Ammo Dump.
At Ammo Dump, they carry new and used firearms, large supply of shotguns, rifles, and handguns. Ammo Dump will buy, sell, or trade in your item and can special order whatever you like. They also have knives, scopes, ammo of any caliber, and provide gun cleaning and restoration. Call them today for the best competitive pricing around.
If I don't have it or can't get it because they don't make it, come and see us.
That's Ammo Dump, located next to Woodman's Package in Norfolk.
Diatley Dental Care is a family-owned dental practice. Doctors Irvin and Christina Diatley grew up in the Twin Lakes area and are proud to serve the community. With modern treatment methods and state-of-the-art technology, they are dedicated to providing exemplary care to patients of all ages. Our compassionate team consistently receives training above and beyond the standard of care.
We're changing the way you see dentistry.
Come be a part of our dental family.
It's
7:52, finishing out the program with Jamie Leach of First Step. What else we need to cover? You've got a lot of...
I've got all my little reminders here.
Reminders there. What have we not covered that we need to?
Reminders. Couple things, I guess. So one would be, before I forget, myself and Jody Leaker, who's also the director of the behavioral health units at Baxter Regional, are going to have a table this Friday night, the Friday Night Live through the chamber, the music events and stuff that are down at Hickory Park. Excuse me. And so if you guys are out and about, please come say hi. I think a lot of times, especially with the First Step table, people are scared to come talk to me. Again, it goes back to stigma, and that's fine. I totally understand that. But even if you have no connection to addiction and you just want to say hi and be supportive, stop by and say hi, because I do think that it encourages us to know that we have community support. If you do have your own issue, if you have a loved one that's got an issue with addiction, though, or in need of behavioral health services. So as we talked about before, Baxter Regional has First Step, again, medical detox, and then separately from that, we have our inpatient behavioral health unit. So that's more geared towards, if someone's suicidal, experiencing psychosis, maybe because they're off of their psychiatric medications or on the wrong medications, or just struggling with that kind of thing. So we can cover both bases, and we can kind of work together on that when we need to. But anyway, we're going to have a table down there for a couple hours at least on Friday. So stop by and say hi, stop by and get information. And then for First Step specifically, if you need help or have questions, you can call me at 870-508-7590. You'll get me. And we'll just chat. Again, like Dale said, totally confidential, so don't worry about that. We'll just talk about it and see what options are. If you don't need detox, that's okay too. You can still call me if you want to know other resources, counselors, rehabs, whatever, support group meetings. I can kind of, point you in the right direction on that too.
Now I got a tough question. in I can't say family unit because sometimes it's a live together situation, but the addiction, can it lead to domestic violence?
Oh, yes, 100% yes. I've had, I can think of several patients probably in just even the last couple of months that have been in that situation. And it makes it harder because then you've kind of got a compounded issue. So especially maybe if you're dealing with not that men don't get abused, because believe it or not, they really do. And it's not so much typically that they can't defend themselves, but they don't, because they're not the type to want to retaliate against a woman, which I respect. But most often, we see the female as the one being abused. And so, you've kind of got, you've got the control issue that they're under. And then especially if they're misusing substances along with that. So especially maybe if that person is the person that gets them the substance that they're struggling with. So it makes it that much harder for them to break free from that situation. I mean, I literally just dealt with this with somebody, and it was a work in progress. I actually have worked with her for at least a couple years, back and forth, trying to help her get out of that. And it does compound the issue, and it absolutely... so say with alcohol, and of course it applies to drugs too, this person gets drunk, abuses them physically, mentally, sexually, maybe all of the above, and then the next day they're apologetic, and you go through this ridiculous cycle of keeping you, hurting you, keeping you, threatening you, emotionally beating you down.
The next day you love them.
Right.
Hate and love. Hating back and forth, back and forth.
And it's right to the point where you feel like you're going to leave is when they might swoop in with the sweetness again. Well, let me get you some flowers. Oh, I'm sorry, and I won't do it again. And you're just like,
same song, flip side.
Not going to work. And you know what? Even if someone is seriously changing for the better, and they really are trying not to be an abuser anymore, and I'm sure that can happen. But in the moment, you still need to get out of that situation until both parties can get help, legitimate, sustained help. That's not something that you need to be going back to. And I know that's hard. But, we've got Serenity locally. We've got some other resources outside of the area that we can help people. That can be part of an aftercare plan, too. I don't mention that much, but I talk about rehabs and stuff, and that's true. But if you need help getting out of that kind of a situation and you're struggling with addiction, we can kind of help you go into something like that too for aftercare. So that's doable.
Because some of my platform has been domestic violence issues and trying to end some of that stuff. And I'll tell you what, it's just some of the stats we've heard is unbelievable.
And the human trafficking and all the
disgusting.
Goodness. It's hard to even hear, isn't it?
Well, I don't know if we were together when that stat come through about a 4-month-old baby girl having to go through gynecology.
Can you even
4 months?
Can you?
I mean, thump is
I can't even.
I can't. Oh, it just.
It's. Oh Lord.
Well, yeah, I'm not going to go into what Jody told us after when we were having pictures the last time you were here. But I sat on the front porch and I was sick to my stomach. I mean, it was just you just don't do this stuff,
And a lot of people too, and I guess, you mentioned that I was, working on my education more. So my internship is in our behavioral health unit. And so let's compound the problem a little bit more. You've got an addiction problem, you're in an abusive situation, and you have a serious mental health diagnosis that maybe you're not being treated for. And even if you are being treated for and you're adding drugs or alcohol to it, that's not going to work with your medications, and you're going to be non-compliant, most likely, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it just becomes this super
You may have 4 flames feeding the same fire.
Yeah. I mean, it becomes very much peeling back those layers and, what needs, working on first. And so, again, if we detox somebody, that's wonderful. But if they've got all these other things going on, you have to address all of that, or you're never going to really get past it, and have lasting change and recovery. So
I tip my hat to you. You're doing a great job.
Thank you. It's a lot. It's an overwhelming field where you can certainly feel overwhelmed, saddened, and inadequate sometimes because people's life problems are so complex.
real quick, your phone number at First Step.
Yeah, 870-508-7590. You can always call the hospital and ask for First Step too, just the main line, but that's my direct line. So.
And it's all confidential. Give Jamie a call if you need some help. We're out of time. Thanks for being here. It was always good to see you.
Yeah,
We
thank
got to
you
run.
guys.
See you
Appreciate
tomorrow.
it.